The next portion of the sensitive features that we're going to look at are the agricultural tile drainage, the surface water, and areas subject to ponding. So the first thing that we're going to look at is our ag maps again, and we're going to come over here to our background map and imagery, and we're going to use this scroller, which basically makes the satellite imagery transparent or not, and we're going to play with it, go back and forth a little bit to see if we can see what shows up as surface water here that actually is in fact surface water in the satellite imagery. And that's going to give us a good indicator of the surface water, the slopes to surface water that we're going to be looking for, and the ditches that we potentially can definitely need to target in order to ensure that there is no surface water, or if it is properly identified. So I'm going to minimize this back and forth a little bit, and let's focus in down here. We can see that there is a very clear ditch, and whether this looks like a man-made potentially drainage ditch, comes right to the field edge here, or the road. Looks like there's a culvert I can see right from the satellite imagery. So a very obvious potential for an agricultural tile drain, tile outlet, as the water from this field needs to be drained off into some sort of waterway. And obviously a drainage ditch of some sort along the field edge here, and it comes along the back into the neighbor's field and into the bush. And so we can see if this ditch here is relevant to the field or not by measuring to the field edge. So that's 175 meters to the field edge. So it is not relevant to the slope to surface water in any way, but this one here certainly is. It's only 60 meters from the field edge. So that one is very much relevant. And if I see the surface water on the satellite imagery on my map, I like to clearly identify it regardless, just to ensure things are neat and tidy and complete. We also have a drainage ditch by the look of it over here, and again, you can make things more transparent, less transparent. You can't in fact see that as much. Let me scroll out a little bit. There we go. I was a little bit scrolled in, but you can see it there, and it shows that the drainage ditch goes up, and in fact it does look like it in fact follows a pathway along there and into the bush here. So very helpful tool to seeing where the potential surface water is. And so now we got to transfer that. Let's see where it goes across the road. Looks like there's definitely a wet area here, a wet area in there, and it looks like there's a fairly deep ditch here up to at least this point that is likely going to have some surface water in it. This ditch here looks like it has some trees growing along the side, and I can see a depression here where the ditch may have surface water. So I'm going to simply mark that as potential surface water, so that when I go to site I can ensure that it is or it isn't surface water. And there also looks to be a culvert across the road and a channel that leads the water there into this surface water there. So going back to our map, we're going to start with the obvious channels. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that we can get some finer work done. And I'm going to use the freeform shape, and I'm just going to simply start drawing the surface water. Now again, this is pre-site inspection, so it's not, this doesn't have to be pretty. We're going to tidy this up later. This is just rough in order for us to ensure that we get an idea as to what we need to be looking for on site. So we're going to do the shape outline, change the weight to something that we can clearly see. And freeform is also good for ponds. You simply just make it the line and the fill the same blue color, and lo and behold, you have your surface water clearly marked. And I'll tidy up the corners and make sure that they're more rounded a little bit later on. And if we recall, there's a little pond in the neighbors there. We're going to make sure that that is properly identified. And back over here, going to freeform. The deep ditch started about there, came along here, across the road, went through the apartment building, and back there. Now, lots of time you'll draw something that will kind of overlap, and you just want to bring to front whatever you want to take priority. All right. Now, lastly, area subject to ponding. We're going to go back to our map, zoom in a little bit tighter to the field, check out these dark areas. Whether I'm not sure what those are, but some of them have little swamp area markings on them, and so we're gonna mark those out as potential. This one here looks like it's back in the bush, and that one there looks like it's in the field as well. Now, my map does not have in the legend a specific color or anything for area subject to ponding. You're welcome to put one in yours. I simply just make a boundary, and I make it white because that white always stands out on a satellite imagery. And then I add a little text box, insert text box, area subject to ponding. Make it a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to make that smaller yet. And I'm just going to do that. So that will tell me that I need to check out that low area to see whether or not there's evidence of ponding, and then I can identify it. I can either update it to area subject to ponding, or maybe if it's been filled in or cropped over and it continues to grow just like the rest of the field, then I will remove that. So that covers the surface water, area subject to ponding. Prep work, obviously you again need to source during your site assessment. And lastly, we can look at agricultural tile drainage, in which case we are going to go over here to environmental database, agricultural tile drainage, and this gives us a grid mark pattern if in fact there is known tile drainage. So it looks like this section was tile drained in 2017 with this one in 2018. So this gives me a good conversation to have with the farmer, as until I talk to the farmer, I'm not likely to have an idea. I can make guesses as to where the tile drainage would be. For example, if this was a low area where a pond was, and I know that there's a drainage ditch here and a culvert under the road, I'm likely going to be looking for a tile outlet there. Same goes for tile outlets here. Knowing that there is a drainage ditch, we can also potentially see if there's any tile outlets over here. And so all I'm going to do with the map at that point is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, yes, there are tile drainage. And these ones will be question marks that I have to ask the farmer about while doing my site assessment. Honestly, farmers are pretty good at describing them over the phone if they know where they are. Some of them are marked pretty clearly, and others are miserable to find. And you'll prefer spring when all the grass is dead. Those are the best times of the year in order to find and mark tile outlets. So that's a quick and easy way of identifying prior to your site assessment the surface water, area subject to ponding, and agricultural tile drainage.